Okay, so clearly we already know that today is Earth Day. So we're going to be talking about our Earth today, and we're going to talk about how we can become better stewards of this planet. You know, we are gifted this planet, and it is our job to take care of it, and to take care of it for today, but to take care of it for the generations to come, for our children and our children's children and their children's children. So I'm going to share with you some quotes. John James Audubon said, "A true conservationist is a man who knows that the world is not given by his fathers, but borrowed from his children." Theodore Roosevelt said, "Here's your country, cherish these natural wonders, cherish the natural resources, cherish the history and romance as a sacred heritage for your children and your children's children. Do not let selfish men or greedy interests skin your country of its beauty, its riches, or its romance." Franklin D. Roosevelt said, "A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself. Forests are the lungs of our land, purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people." And Chief Seattle said, "The earth does not belong to man. Man belongs to the earth. This we know, all things are connected, like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the sons and daughters of the earth. Humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread within it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. All things are bound together. All things connect." Frank Lloyd Wright said, "I believe in God and I spell it nature." A Cree Indian proverb says, "Only when the last tree has died and the last river has been poisoned and the last fish have been caught will we realize that we cannot eat money." And I'm not sure where this came from. Yeah, it's profound. "We have no existence apart from the living earth. What we do to the earth, we literally do to ourselves." And so, you know, today we're going to be talking about a lot that has to do with the environment, and it is a very sacred subject because, as we read the scripture today, we were given dominion over this planet, not to have power over it, but to take care of it. And somewhere along the line, we've lost sight of that. And so it's time for us to wake up and to stand up as individuals and as a spiritual community to stand for the health of this beautiful planet Earth. Now, Earth Day originated in 1970, in April of 1970, and it was a call to be conscious to the environmental movement, and it was a response to the destruction that we were seeing in the environment. Over 20 million people participated in that first Earth Day event. And some good things came out of it. There was legislation like the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, and numerous other legislations that came out of that. And so imagine where we would be if something hadn't happened that long ago. We have the power to recreate what we have co-created together insofar as an environmental crisis. We have the imagination, we have the insight, we have the genius, and collectively we do have the answers to recreating this earth in a way that keeps it healthy, that brings it back to its great health. And we can make a difference. And it was interesting, I was talking to my 12-year-old grandson Friday morning, and we were someplace and we had gotten drinks and we had straws. And so I said, "I'm not going to use a straw." And I started to explain to him why, which I'll explain more of that later. And he just kind of looked at me and he goes, "Grandma, we can't really make a difference." And I'm like, well, of course we can make a difference. And he had all these reasons why we couldn't make a difference, And so I want you to know that we can make a difference. And it's imperative that our children know that they can make that difference too. So I want to share with you, this is the Cuyahoga River. In 1969, it caught fire. Because it was absolutely horrifically polluted. Oil rigs would just spill oil as they were traveling along there. And when the river caught fire, it really woke people up at that time. Did you know rivers aren't actually supposed to catch fire? They aren't. But the Cuyahoga River was so polluted, there were dead fish everywhere, there was no oxygen in the water. And actually, there were all kinds of signs for people not to get in the water because it was that toxic that it could poison a person, getting into it and ingesting it. And it was just an outrage when it happened. But here's the thing, the river used to catch fire all the time. In the 20s and 30s, people just kind of looked at it as being a nuisance. But the 60s came along, peace, love, environment. And so this really woke people up. So do you know what the people of Cleveland did? They taxed themselves $100 million to clean this river up. And this many years later, it is home to more than 60 species of fish, beavers, blue herons, bald eagles on the banks. Is it totally healed? No. Does it still need monitoring? Yes, absolutely. But look at what a community of people can do when they come together to heal. And to me, this is the opportunity that we have as a spiritual community, and what we're stepping into with this Earth Day, what the message that we can bring to our greater community, and how we ourselves can come together to make a difference for this planet, because she deserves the best from us. She deserves the best from us. So what does the Earth give us? Yeah, life, right? Yeah, life, absolutely. Our food and our water and, nutrients and medicine and things for shelter and, and she gives us incredible, incredible beauty. This planet is a giving planet. And unfortunately, like I said, we forgot somewhere along the way and we just kept taking. And what we have been giving back to the planet has not been healthy for the planet. So it is time for us to step up to this. So as we know, we're having this great celebration this Saturday. It's our Planet Unity Earth Day celebration. And I want to say a special thank you to Lisa Landrigan, who's actually on vacation today. She so deserves it. This woman has the most brilliant mind when it comes to organizing things, but also to everybody who is on the committee, because they have been meeting every week for about 2 months, every Thursday from 6 to 8, in addition to numerous hours outside of that, just getting everything together. So I just want to say thank you, and we'll thank you more, after our event. It's amazing. Our mission is to create a connection with our community by raising awareness of the importance of the environment through education, music, and fun. So why would this be important to us? Why would this be important to Unity? Is there any history that supports this? Well, actually there is. And I'm going to share that history with you today. Some 100 plus years ago, our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, and his sons ended up purchasing about 1,500 acres in Lee Summit, Missouri, and it became Unity Farm. So I'm going to share a lot right now with you because I want you to understand the consciousness of our founders, because it's pretty amazing. The practices at the Unity Farm modeled the movement's dietary and ecological priorities. Now, the Fillmores were vegetarians, and they encouraged their Unity workers to be vegetarians as well. So on this property, much of the focus was on fruit and vegetable production. The farm's orchard yielded 7,500 apple trees. At peak, the trees yielded 75,000 bushels of apples and about 100 gallons of apple cider a year. There were also cherry and plum trees scattered around the farm, and there was a 400-tree peach orchard, 12 acres of grapevines, plus fields of oats, wheat, corn, asparagus, strawberries, and soybeans. That's not all. Production at Unity Village was supported by a poultry house of 2,000 white leghorn hens, which helped sustain the meatless menu at the Unity Inn restaurant at 9th and Tracy, which the inn was one of the largest vegetarian cafeterias in the world at that time. They're serving as many as 200 at each seating. Now, to protect the pristine woodlands and rolling hills, the Unity workers took great care to develop the farm only with what nature would provide. I just want you to really hear all of this because this is so amazing. For example, streams were used to provide irrigation, and in 1927 they constructed a 530-foot long and 45-foot high dam, and these same streams then were filled a 75 million gallon reservoir that would be filtered for drinking water, and I'm pretty sure they still do that today. I know that within the last few years, they were still doing that. So they provide their own drinking water, and they filter it. And they claim that it is cleaner than most water that you will get anywhere. As many as 15 first of all, the demand for water grew as Unity grew, and so they began drilling for water, and sometimes they struck oil and gas. So it gave Unity the ability to use its own oil wells and natural gas supplies to light all the service lanterns throughout the farm. And as many as 15 buildings on the Unity farm were heated by the gas from that 500-foot deep well. Also in the 1920s, Unity Farm built a 3-mile road without disturbing the natural setting and paved it with native rock from its own crusher. And then Unity Farm workers, stonemasons, fashioned the rock into rustic pools and walls and bridges. And when you go there today, you will see some of these old wall structures from that original stone. When a severe drought in the late 1930s killed a large number of black walnut trees on the farm, the Unity farmers felled those trees, and they used the Unity sawmill. It amazes me, like the sawmill, the crushers, the whatever, they had everything, to salvage more than 9 miles of board feet of prime walnut lumber. And then they used that walnut lumber for beautiful woodworking projects. And then new trees were planted to replace those trees. Further, they used a native limestone quarried from outcroppings on its acreage for several of their own construction projects. The Unity Hotel and Conference that is there today, the newest, which opened in 2006, exemplifies the ongoing environmental stewardship demonstrated by first generation of Unity. When the 33,000 square foot facility opened in 2006, it was one of the first leadership in energy and environmental design certified green hotels in the Midwest. Pretty amazing, right? Today, they have a project called The Gardens at Unity Village. It's a volunteer-driven organization committed to shaping a dynamic enterprise that will capture the magnificence and charm of Unity Farm. Their aim is fixed firmly on growing naturally productive plants, fruits, vegetables, and herbs, and then to market that harvest to the public with a market stand at Unity Village, which is exciting because if you go up there during that season, you can actually buy produce. And think about, from the same grounds that all of these things were grown on over 100 years ago. To me, that's just tapping into that rich history. Their mission is to, Did I put that part? Oh, our vision is to recultivate the legacy of the Fillmore ecological footprint at Unity Village. Our mission is to be an expression of abundance, spiritual connection, and stewardship, a community of people committed to growing healthy food and sustaining a prosperous green model for generations to come. So I think that we have a pretty doggone good, solid foundation for why we want to bring a great, huge, ginormous Earth Day event to Springfield, Missouri. Do you think so? Yes, yes, yes. And, this talk will be on the website. please take the time to go to the website and share this talk, because I think it's important for people as a general rule to know that this is our rich heritage, our rich history of unity, that this is who we are and this is what we're about. And this is the opportunity that we have to bring this to the community of Springfield, Missouri. This is exciting. Okay. The theme for the 2018 Earth Day, the overall theme, this is not our theme, it's the overall theme, is End Plastic Pollution. Now there's many things that we can be doing environmentally, but what we're focused on this year with everybody else is end plastic pollution. And we have to recognize that, our bodies are created to heal. And so is our earth. But just as we cannot just put anything into our body that we know is not good for our body and expect it to be healthy and whole, we cannot put things into this Mother Earth that are not good for her and expect her to be healthy. And in fact, I'm going to say we've all seen the videos, we've all seen the news, we've all seen some pretty awful things about what we've put into the earth and how it's affecting our oceans, how it's affecting our climate, how it's affecting our health. Yes? Yeah, absolutely. The invention of plastic actually came about in 1907, and as we know, that was a really profound, amazing thing that happened at that time. And as with so many things, we didn't know at that time what some of the things that were going to come out of that were not going to be beneficial for people and for the planet itself. And so it just became omnipresent in everything that we did. And plastics, the main thing about plastics is their unbiodegradable nature. There's other things about them because plastics also have toxins in them that we have found now that affects our bodies. And not only that, but the production of them themselves and what comes out of that. Today I'm just going to be talking about the plastics themselves and how we can do things differently. According to the BBC, there are 9.1 billion US tons of virgin non-recycled plastic that has been produced to date, generating 6.9 billion US tons of plastic waste. Only 9% of that has been recycled. 12% has been incinerated. The remaining 79% of plastic waste has accumulated in landfills in the natural environment. And do you know where that goes ultimately? To the ocean. To the ocean. And so it's time for us to really wake up and become aware of this. So let's look at some pictures here. Now, this is not an actual whale, this is a depiction, but that is what they have found in the bellies of whales, is all of this plastic. And it kills them. And we have to recognize this, that we are part of what is happening right here. The marine life, they don't know the difference between what is food and what is plastic. And so they eat it. And as we know, if we ate a hard piece of plastic, it would really affect our physical bodies. So, just take a look at that. And then these are actual pictures of plastic waste in our oceans. And it's not acceptable, is it? And I was talking to somebody in between services, and we were saying education is the biggest key here, because you don't know what you don't know. But when we know better, we can do better. And this is why, for us, Earth Day is so important, because we want to be a part of educating people and helping them to understand what is happening here. If we don't have our marine life, we don't have us. We need all of it. And again, and I'm going to say this over and over, it's time for us to stand up and to do something about it. So there's a few things that I want to talk about today when it comes to plastic. The first one is to refuse. Did you know that over 500 million straws are used in America every day? Every day. Most of those end up in our ocean. If we don't act now, by the year 2050, it's estimated that there will be more plastic in the ocean than there will be fish. Unacceptable. An estimated 71% of seabirds and 30% of turtles have been found with plastics in their stomach. And when they ingest plastic, they have a 50% mortality rate. And so it's vital for us to say no to straws. And, what can we use? You can use paper straws, or you can get the metal straws and carry them with you. And here's the thing, is that for us to do some of these things, you guys, we're going to have to change things. We're going to have to make a decision that, I'm going to work a little bit more because I want to be a part of what is helping to create a healthy planet for the future generations. But it's going to be individually working together and collectively working together. The state of California actually has a bill in legislation right now to significantly reduce the use of plastic straws, where they will not just automatically hand them out. Somebody would have to ask for them. And I think every state should have that. There's no reason, especially knowing what we know, for us to continue to use plastic straws. Plastic bags. We are going to be ordering reusable trash bags and have our Unity logo on them. We're going to have them for sale, and we hope that you will purchase those and that you will use those. If you do use plastic bags and you throw them away because they cannot be recycled, tie them in knots, because otherwise they can go over the head of an animal, because guess where they're going to end up? They're going to end up in the ocean. No more water bottles. This is the thing here at Unity of Springfield. Whatever water bottles are left in the fridge, that's going to be the last of them for us. We have a water cooler. We ask that you bring your own water bottle. For that, plasticware. We are getting rid of our plasticware. And do you know what that means? We're going to use actual silverware and actual, things like that. And it's going to take all of us working together to recognize, if I use it, I need to be responsible to go in and wash it and clean it up if I use it. We're going to be using real cups for our coffee. And in fact, today I put the call out to ask, for somebody to make something for the wall to hang our coffee cups on, and somebody stepped forward to do that this morning. Amy from Firehouse Pottery, go to Firehouse Pottery, has offered to let us come one Sunday evening, and she's going to donate cups, and whoever wants to go can go and paint your own coffee mug. If you don't get to do that, bring a coffee mug in, and guess what? You're going to be responsible for taking it in the kitchen and washing it and hanging it back up, because it matters, and because it's okay that we have to do that. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. Okay. And then also with plasticware, you can actually buy like this bamboo ware that you can throw in your purse. Or, well, you guys don't carry a purse. Sometimes some of you carry a man purse. But anyway, you can take this with you, and instead of using plasticware, you can use your own to reduce that. Okay, number 2 is reuse. If you do buy plastic water bottles, reuse them, refill them, use them over and over and over again. You can clean out, your plastic baggies, your Ziploc bags. You can rinse those out and clean them, and you can reuse those. Paul is a huge reuser of the plastic containers. You get sour cream and hummus and, all that kind of stuff in the plastic containers. Well, reuse those, put them in your cabinet and reuse them for when you have leftovers, and we do that all the time. Donate your clothing, donate your plastic toys, don't throw them away. And in fact, you guys, we have a clothing boutique coming up May 12th, and so an opportunity for you to donate your clothing for that. But we also have a yard sale on June 22nd and 23rd, so you can bring your stuff here for that. And then if you do get plastic bags, because I have those times when I forget to take my bags in, then don't throw them away. You can take them to Walmart, and there's a place where you can put your plastic bags, and they, or you can bring them here, because people who come in for the food during the week, so we can reuse the plastic bags. Okay, recycle. We do recycle here. We recycle our paper, our water bottles, which we're not going to have anymore, our soda cans, thanks to Carolyn and Ed Bulig, who come every week and recycle for us. There's a recycling center close to the church. It's not that hard. Yeah. Yes. Oh, that's cool. Get with me after so I can remember what that is. Thank you. Yeah, there's so much that we can do to reuse things. And I would invite you to go to Google and just Google recycle chart. Because on the bottom of plastic things, there's the recycle emblem, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this tells you what you can recycle and where you can recycle it, what can be done with it. And like, I didn't even know this. That's why I say when we know better, we do better. But we're learning. All of us in here are learning, and we're knowing better so that we can do better. And then remove. Be a part of a team that cleans up the streams, that cleans up the roads, that whatever you can do to help clean up plastic pollution, and then financially support those organizations. There's a lot of organizations out there that are doing fantastic work with our oceans, and creating all different kinds of things to help clean up that plastic pollution. So whatever we can do to remove it. Now, as I shared, we are having our huge Planet Unity celebration, and I want to share with you some things just in case you don't know, but also because this is going to go out on the internet and I want as many people to know about this as possible. We are going to have all kinds of free things going on here that day. From 11:30 to 4:30, you can do yoga, meditation, yoga, meditation, yoga, meditation. From 11:30 to 5:30, there's all kinds of speakers that are going to be here. They're going to talk about spiritual ecology. Tree City, USA is going to be here. A master naturalist, somebody to speak about community gardening. Wouldn't that be awesome to do a community garden around here? Container gardening and composting, recycling, environmental awareness, all natural essential oils, and then the Audubon Society is going to be out here as well. From 11 to 1, we're going to have dances of universal peace, and then we're going to have drumming for another couple of hours. And is Coburn, did you say Coburn was going to be part in there somewhere? And he's going to do his big, cool, wind-chimey, awesome things that you don't want to miss that. From 3 to 8, we have live music with various bands around the community. So all kinds of different music. We're going to have a beer and wine garden, so you can just sit back and enjoy some great music. And our Unity Band will also be one of those bands. We have all kinds of things for kids. We have a bounce house, face painting, seed planting. There are all kinds of games. We're going to be able to decorate our own reusable grocery bags and water bottles. The kids are going to have particular water bottles that they're going to decorate. And then we're going to have the glass water bottles and an opportunity to etch them. And there is a small cost on the water bottles, but what a great thing. You can get your water bottle there that you can then bring to church and use here. We're going to have free sassafras trees that are going to be handed out. Local vendors are going to be there sharing all kinds of different things. And we want to say just a ginormous thank you to everybody who sponsored this Earth Day event, because we're able to do all of this because of everybody who sponsored. So when you see the sponsors' names, say thank you to them and frequent their business, please. Okay, so please let people know about it. If you have someplace you can take it, tell your friends and family about it, because as Dee said, this is only the first annual, and we're so excited that this will be something that will become bigger and bigger every year, and that we will become known for our participation in making the environment a much better place. So we're going to close with a call and response, a prayer of healing. I'll be the reader and you be the all, okay? We join with the earth and with each other to bring new life to the land, to restore the waters, to refresh the air. We join with the earth and with each other. To renew the forests, to care for the plants, to protect the creatures. We join with the earth and with each other. To celebrate the seas, to rejoice the sunlight, to sing the song of the stars. We join with the earth and with each other. To recall our destiny, to renew our spirits, to reinvigorate our bodies. We join with the earth and with each other. To create the human community, to promote justice and peace, to remember our children. We are full of the grace of creation. We are graceful. We are grateful. We rejoice in all life. And so it is, and so it shall be. And namaste.